Good afternoon. My name is Amy Griffin, and I am so excited. We are in the new year, and so we have an opportunity to do a new thing. So typically, I am here by myself of late, and we typically do one by one of late. But I'm excited that we're going to start this new year in a new way. This year, we're starting off by introducing each one of the legal minds of the Griffin Firm. Now, we are going actually in order of seniority, not that they're old. But that what we know is that we spend a lot of time doing work behind the scenes, especially the lady that I'm going to introduce you to right now. But together, we are an amazing team. We are able to work together to create such the work that happens, the magic that happens. And we all are committed to the core values of the firm, which are faith, excellence, service, relationships, and trustworthiness. So the Griffin Firm is built on our core values, and each one of us comes knowing who we are and what we are. I have the pleasure of introducing, starting off with attorney Tiffany Beanie.
Hello.
I will say Tiffany is the who makes everything works here at the Griffin Firm. She takes very little credit, but really is behind the scenes. But I want this opportunity to just get to know her a little bit, because then you too will see how amazing she is. I truly say to her all the time, to everybody I talk to typically, that Tiffany truly was a gift from God to me. And I don't know where this firm would be, how this firm would be without her. And I thank God for her. But I am going to first allow her to do a brief, introduction to who she is, and then I'll ask her questions.
Well, thank you, dear. And since I'm such a blessing, I sort of expect lunch, just saying, maybe not.
Okay, she's a misguided blessing, right?
My name is Tiffany Beanie. I got my bachelor's from Towson University. I got my JD from the University of Baltimore School of Law. I'm a mom of 2 boys, and I live out in the boonies in Frederick, Maryland. I've been with the firm for 5 years. And it's been a roller coaster, but it's been really, really fun. And we've done some really, really great things, but we're still building, and we're still, getting better every day. But yeah, that's me.
So when you came to the Griffin Firm, you had experience working with criminal law, right?
The
U.S. Attorney's Office, and that's what you wanted to do.
Well, not quite. I thought I was going to be, you're right, I wanted to be a public defender. And then I saw the light very early on in law school. And then I thought I was going to do family law. And it's really, really emotional. What we do is, estate planning is part of your family, but it's, in my opinion, a more positive way. Family law, it's always a lot of fighting and back and forth. So, and I kind of like the estate planning side, where we get to plan for the future and not have any issues. And then I worked at the U.S. Attorney's Office for 2 years, and drugs and gangs and all the violence you get over it in Baltimore City. And then I applied to be a virtual assistant with Miss Griffin. And Miss Griffin said, "You're a lawyer?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Oh, okay, great. And this is what we're really going to do." I love that you want to be an assistant, but no. And I've been just following her lead ever since.
So although Tiffany says she's follows my lead, the truth of the matter is she tells me where to go. Right? I may have a vision, but she'll say, "This is how we're going to get there." And so it has been a true blessing. When you think about the core values, Tiff, what do they mean to you? Why does that do they resonate with you?
I think they resonate most because they're part of my own personal core values. we had the opportunity to sit and identify our core values, which was really great. So we could all see that we felt that way just as an individual. One of the things that's so great about working for a firm or a company or with people who subscribe to those values that you share is that I've had the experience of not having it. I know what it's like not being able to be free about your faith. I was always free, but there's always some sort of, I guess, backlash that you get, and having faith being our number one core value is huge. And I've heard that from many of our team members that it's a safe isn't the word, but it's remarkable, really, just to be able to be true to who you are. I try to be excellent in all that I do. I don't always succeed, like my current state, but it's great. And it means that I work for a company that stands for more than just the dollar. You know what I mean? Like it's about more.
Clearly, right.
Something, right. We're doing something way bigger than us, and our core values just supports that and acknowledges that it's not about us. This is truly God's firm, and we better live up.
When you talk to your boys about the work that you do, how is that reflective?
So it's interesting because I don't ever use the word lawyer. They don't really know that I'm a lawyer.
Her boys are 6 and 3, by the way.
Yes, 6 and 3, and a handful. And they always know mommy has to go to work to help people. That's what they know that's what mommy does. They have no idea the concept of lawyer and money or anything. They kind of get it because, like, well, mommy has to go to work because we have to eat. And I'm like, yes, yes, she does.
And they eat a lot.
They do all day. Amy, you can attest. But it's nice that that's how they see what I do, that I help people, because that's really what we do. We help, and they don't really understand, I go to court or anything like that. They just know mommy helps people who need her help and they can't do it, so they need her, and she makes their life better. And it's nice because it's so innocent and they don't get all the stress of it, or they just see the joy, which is great. I think it's seeing your job from the eyes of your kids is nice, and it makes you kind of like, okay, step back, even though it's crazy or your phone has been ringing off the hook or your emails are insane, just knowing that it's for a greater purpose and that even little people get it.
So you have had the responsibility of being a mom, and during Corona doing this job, how are you balancing this?
No, I'm just joking. It was a struggle at first, because if you remember when the virus first hit, it was March, so we're mid-school year, and no one's prepared for it. So you're teaching, and I went to law school because I'm not a teacher. So trying to learn that was a challenge. Now we're in a better space. This year for our firm and for me personally, one of our goals is intentionality. So that is what I've been focused on since the start of the year. And part of that intentionality is, for me, having dedicated time with God. I've sort of lost it. I feel like he kind of got lost in the shuffle in trying to balance. And I realized that if he doesn't order my steps, then I'm just gonna be crazy. So, I mean, more crazy than usual. So, it's been a challenge, but I've learned more patience than I thought I had. I've learned how much food I need to order from the online grocery pickup, and being able to still serve our clients the best way that I can and be true, and family is my number one passion, and being there for my kids. So it's a fine line, but I'm being really intentional about it with focusing on God first. And then I think everything else will just, fall into place. That's my prayer.
Intentionality, right? Intentionality. One of the my pastors had my pastor and his first lady had a conversation with married folks, and they talked about one of the lessons they gave us was grace. That in this time of where everything is so out of whack, have grace with with yourself first and foremost, because I know that it is an amazing challenge, one to work with and for me. And but your own.
I didn't say that. Everyone heard that. She said that.
But I would say more difficult than working for me is maintaining your own standard of excellence when everything is amiss. When you're being principal, teacher, cafeteria worker, because when Tiffany has to work from home to do mommy care, and I've never seen children who snack so much. I'm like, she needs to have a side job, because every 2 minutes these babies are snack mommy. So, but then still to be committed to excellence. So talk to me about what really is the funnest part about the estate planning work that we do.
So let me start with, I didn't think it was going to be fun at all. You probably don't know this, probably shouldn't say this to your boss, but I interviewed and then I was like, yeah, it's some boring job to be estate planning. And then they were like, really? That'll be fun. I was like, yeah, whatever. And it actually is. There is no one day that's the same. It's a different story every single time. Even when people pass away, it's the same sort of court experience, but it's always so different. The best part of estate planning for me is usually at the end. It's not the beginning. It's not the thinking out the details. It's right at the end when you're in a signing meeting and they just feel so relieved. The clients, and they express just how grateful they are for what we did. And sometimes we can take it for granted, like we know what we're doing, and we do this all the time, day in and day out, but it is really, really rewarding when someone feels like they are at peace with what we just did, when they feel confident that their family will be protected, when they've been thoughtful about their kids and being a mom and thinking about this and going through this experience for myself. It is a really good feeling to know, like, okay, everything's in place. No matter what, if something happens, I have it. And it's just really the joy that the clients have with us is the best part of the job, for sure.
One of the things that I always lament about is that we don't have enough millennials who are thoughtful about, how do I plan for the future? You're a youngin'. Talk to me about, how do you compel your loved ones to be, your peers to be thoughtful about, how do we plan?
So I'll answer both of those. Loved ones by force. I have said, no, you're going to do this. You're going to sit down and you're going to think about it. And I forced the issue. That's just how you do it with your family. Other peers, I've been encouraging. So I have a close group of friends who we've all grown up together, and trying to get them to understand the importance is not really a challenge. They get it. It's the part of getting them to do something about it. That's the hard part. And actually three of my friends are nurses. I thought when we did free estate plans for our first responders and healthcare frontline, I thought that was going to do it. Like, okay, this will get your buns. It didn't. It is a challenge for young people because we understand intellectually the value, but it doesn't really become priority until we start to see it in our own life. So what I do is mainly just try to encourage and kind of stay in their ear, but not in, maybe it's annoying, in an annoying way where you just are in there like, hey, you got your estate plan? Hey, what do you think about this? Well, guess what would happen if you weren't here? What's going to happen to my godchild? Like, have you thought about it? So it's really just a conversation. I think that's what we've lacked in our community generally. I didn't have any of these conversations when I was younger. I didn't know about wills. I didn't know about the purpose. And I'm only like, now that this is my job, having these conversations with like my grandfather or my mom, and she didn't know. So conversation is the number one way that I'm touching the millennial group and trying to impress upon them that we all gonna die, and we don't know when it's going to happen with the craziness of the world, with just, general life. We don't know what's going to happen. So get it done, like now. And if any of my friends are watching on Facebook, hello. Just thought I'd put that out there.
Yeah, thank you for that. Well, it's during this time of COVID, how have you felt about the work that we're doing? Did it exacerbate it?
I think we're crazy. I think that, and I say that because there are people who we've touched maybe a year ago. We've touched, they've seen us speak at some community event, a few months back, and they were kind of motivated. They loved the presentation, but nothing just kind of got them over the hump. And then some of those people are back now, like, I need this now. My brother died from COVID. So-and-so died from COVID. So I think that it has increased people's, unfortunately, it's fear. I'm hoping that all those who come to us, and even if they come to us for fear, they do feel peace after they've left. But yeah, I think it's definitely amped up. And then just my to-do list, I think, is also proof that we've got a little bit more going on than usual.
Yes, I think a lot of estate planning attorneys are really busy now. And unfortunately, we're doing a lot of probate as well when people have passed away. What has your experience been about with those family members who haven't planned through and that we're doing probate work?
In all honesty, the ones that stick out are always the negative ones. It's always the turmoil that you see when someone hasn't planned. There are those ones that are, one child, the mom or dad died, and it's clear cut, easy peasy. But there are so many more problem situations when people have planned or have not planned. We've also seen, and I think I can count like 2 where people did plan, but they didn't plan properly. And that caused a whole nother where, our client believes that this is how it's supposed to go. And I have to be the one to tell them that, unfortunately, the planning wasn't done right. And here's where we are. Here's how we fix it. It's really sad. There are a lot of families who don't talk to each other. There's one family in my mind right now, and it's just sad to see that it just brings out it brings out greed, it brings out, and people are grieving. So the probate process for those who haven't planned is something that I hope everyone wants to avoid and starts to seek out those resources like an estate planning attorney to not have that issue. It's sad. It is really sad to see. And then you spend a lot of money trying to correct issues or whatever it is, and it's just not worth it. It would be so much easier just to put your plan in place, and then we wouldn't have an issue. A solid plan, let me be clear.
We have unfortunately seen too many families where I'm not speaking to my brother or sister ever again, because they just didn't honor what we believe our family members wanted or loved ones wanted. And so one of the reasons why it's so important to have the conversations is because we want to preserve families, right? And we really are excited about the opportunity to work with folks to do that. We do those, we encourage people to do testimonials to make that happen. So Tiffany has promised me that she would work here for as long as I lived. And
but okay, we're good.
In addition, I want to give the fact that Tiffany broke her tailbone and she still came to work. So it's an indication that no matter what happens, she's a commitment to excellence and commitment to follow through. We are a team like no other, I say proudly and sort of with apprehension, because we are committed to the people that we serve. And I'm excited about the opportunity that each week for the next 8 weeks to introduce you to the legal minds that are a part of the Griffin Firm. We're excited about sharing who we are with you, so that encourages you to realize that we are a whole hot mess all by ourselves, so that you would not be embarrassed to come and share your stories, because we've seen them all and we've lived most of them. So we are excited that you are shared with us to get to know Tiffany, and next week you get to meet Shakisha Morgan. We are excited that our commitment is to educate as well as part of our service. And so what we know is that when you know better, you do better. We have a free estate planning workshop that if you just call the office, we can connect you to. We also, I guess, will be serving with the Deltas on Martin Luther King Day. We'll have a presentation with Turner Memorial on January 21st. So like us, check us out. We like to share the word, and we love being a part of your family. So check us out at yourestateplanningattorney.com, and we love to work with you. Thank you. Bye-bye.